Like we've got ourselves a Soviet bus stop, complete with mosaic. So today we found ourselves in a place called Burana, and there is a reason why this is a well-known place, and it is that there is a tower built here. Now I don't know the history of it yet, except that it's quite old, and we was walking up the path to have a bit of a look at it. What's that, darling? What's going on? You want to take this camera? Take this? No.
Getting up to Burana Tower. Можно я первая поднимусь? Подожди, вместе пойдем. Сейчас сами. А, ну ты была, да?
Блин, капец низко.
Я за Мику, да? Сейчас, давайте.
Эй, смотри.
Так.
Офигеть. Держи, сушняк надо оставить на таки. Вот это как удобно. Не бойся. Оставим костюм. Попробуй чуть-чуть. Оставь. Это пострап вылетел, окей? Если я упаду, блядь. Надо тут на телефон.
Finally, we can see the light in the end of tunnel. The stairs are so narrow. I don't know how we're gonna get back. It's gonna be interesting.
Да, я устал.
Спасибо. Давай руку. That's how you get out of this hole.
Прикинь, упали. Ой, я еле понесся.
Если вверх не упадут, то этот же, да, скатится все остальные же?
Я застрял, я не покажу.
So here we are at the Burana Tower. I had a bit of a close look at it. It looks like it's made out of terracotta bricks. We haven't learnt anything yet. There's a museum that we're about to go to, but Elena just went up the staircase, the internal staircase. What can you tell me?
Well, first of all, the stairs are very, very narrow, so you have to actually walk sideways, because otherwise, especially if you have a big size foot, you have to walk sideways, otherwise you may drop down.
Well, lucky
it's-
we don't know anyone like that.
No, we don't. So it's safer to go up because you are pretty much in the full darkness. You can't see anything. But when you go down, you can see the light in the end of tunnel. And
Oh, you didn't go towards the light though, did you?
Yes, we did go towards the light.
Darling, I told you, never ever go towards the light. I want you to stay here with me.
Sweet darling. Of course I will. You'll regret it if I stay too longer. Anyway, so when you go down, you can only you can only pretty much rely on your balance. Stop it. Because the stairs are very narrow, and you have to go one step at a time. Otherwise, there is a high risk of falling down and crushing the people who are walking in front of you.
So it was worth it?
It was.
Or was it worth
A
it?
beautiful, beautiful view right from the top of the tower, so it's lovely. It's really lovely.
Okay then.
Let's
move on to the next thing.
It's worth visiting.
It is worse.
Yes, it is worth visiting.
Yeah, okay. So it wasn't worth it at all. It was worse the whole time.
The whole time.
All right, up this hill we're going now. And this is a ute. Now, it's a little bit different to the utes that we Australians are used to, but you can still get in there and have some fun like we used to in the back of our utes. So this is a traditional nomad homes of the Kyrgyz people. It's made out of wool. Everyone I've seen so far has been locked, so you can't go in and see the inside, but they do like to put sheds on top to protect them. And so these stone monuments have been collected from around Kyrgyzstan and brought here. They're between the 9th and some as late as the early part of the 20th century. But this is how the Kyrgyz people used to mark their graves. And as I say, there's quite a few being brought here. This is not a graveyard itself, this is just where the monuments have been brought. You know, some of them remind me a little bit of Easter Island statues. Not so much the faces, of course, but the way the arms and other things, other parts of the body are shown. Even though this is a monument area dedicated to history with a museum and the Burana Tower, they're still being used for farming. I'm looking at the sheep poo all over the place, and of course there's sheep roaming around as well. And this is an early sign of spring. These little wildflowers here are known by to the locals as snowdrops. And it's the first flowers I've seen, because we've been here during winter the whole time, and it's now beginning to turn to spring. Some kind of burrowing creature has found their home here in this mud hill. See if I find out what they are. Lost Elena when I was down the bottom, but I thought if I went up the top, because she likes to climb up, and I knew I'd find her up here, but I didn't think I would find her rolling around in the dirt. I know she loves flowers, but it's getting just a little bit ridiculous. The cat lady is now turning into crazy flower lady. And out there in the distance are the sheep that are leaving their deposits all over the place. So the view from up on top of this mound is quite spectacular, on the mountains in the background. What I am confused about is that tower was built, I assumed, to give the builders a good view of the area. But all they have to do is stand on this hill, and I'm pretty sure you could see anyone coming for miles. So it'll be interesting to find out the history of the tower when we get to the museum, and I'll pass that knowledge on.
Place looks like it's a burial place.
And now it's time for me to chase the crazy flower lady before she disappears. Now I asked her if she knew what was digging the holes, and Eleni tells me that it's an animal that's similar to a meerkat. There's another hole there. That'd be a pretty small meerkat, but it might be some kind of a little furry creature that I've never heard of. Excuse me, crazy flower lady.
Yes.
What did you say those animals are that are digging their burrows?
What animals?
I asked you what's digging the burrows.
Oh, those ones are suricats. Or, if you don't know what the suricat is, it's similar to meerkat.
Okay.
They're very cute ones. You know those ones that say in the commercial, Australian commercial.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
Yes, I think we all know what a meerkat is. It's the suricate that we don't understand.
Suricat is, yeah, similar to meerkat.
Okay. You know, I met Elena in Australia. She's really truly Australian now. Been in the country long enough to understand Australia and all our funny Australian ways. And so much of her ways that I've been thinking are quite unique. Some personality things about her. But now that I'm walking around in her country, I'm finding that some of her traits are shared by her peers in this country. For instance, let's say our guide today is around about the same age group as Elena. Russian speaking, Russian ethnic lady like Elena is. And when I go up to that hill, because straight away I knew if I went up that hill I'd find Elena up there somewhere. But sure enough, the other lady's up there with her, and the two of them bent down, rolling around, taking photos of flowers that they've had every spring in their entire lives, and yet they are still fascinated by them. We've got these incredible mountains, an incredible piece of history right there, and we've spent more time looking at the spring grassy flowers, the snowdrops, than looking at anything else. It's yeah. But anyway, I thought that was just Elena, but I'm starting to understand that it might be a Kyrgyz-born Russian lady's behaviour. On this side, I can see that the Burana Tower, the ancient Burana Tower, it's not what you would describe as straight. In fact, it'd probably give the Leaning Tower of Pisa a run for its money. But it's up, it's held up, it's sitting there, so must be okay. Traditionally, the Kyrgyz ute was carried around on trailers and horse-drawn across the plains. It moved around with their nomadic lifestyle. As we can see, they've caught up with the 21st century and now got mechanised means of carrying their utes around. So that's all the timber area, parts of it. And yeah, well, that's just arrived while I've been here, so they must be intending to put them up. So it would be interesting to stay around and watch, but I don't think we've got that kind of time, I'm afraid. And this is the small museum that's located here. Have a quick look what's here. Some more stonework with what looks to be possibly Arabic writing on it. Unfortunately, most of this stuff is any signage, very little of it's in English. Oh no, here we go. We've got ceramic dishes from the 7th to the 12th century. So I don't know if that means they're not sure of exactly when these things were made, or whether it just means they were made over a long period of time. Some intricate little bells and looks like coins perhaps, or medallions of some description. And of course, being nomads close to the Mongol type lifestyle, you'll find some horse bits and pieces. Not surprisingly, Betty saw me in the museum. She's come over. I don't think there's a word of English, but she does know the word. So she does have one word of English, and that's shop. And this is inside a ute. Oh, lots of wool and sheepy products. There was a time when an Australian lad like myself would have known a lot about wool, but it's not really our primary industry that much anymore. Oh, t-shirts, dolls, little figurines. Some more people coming. But more interestingly to me, this is the roof of a ute. And the roof is closed at the moment. But that symbol, that that work there, top of it, is represented in the Kyrgyz flag. So that symbol there on the Kyrgyz t-shirt is taken from the top of the ute. Oh, you did miss me. I'm glad you found me.
You are, my sweet darling.
Yes. So a Kyrgyz lady came over and took me out of the museum and urgently took me to her ute.
What for?
Well, I don't know. You've seen my style. She's only human. But
I've seen your style, but I haven't seen their style. They're very conservative.
there's not a lot of style. But there's it's a shop.
Not the museum?
No, the museum's there. So
Go to the museum.
I've been to the museum. I'll show you the video. But what I want to know is if they have the Kyrgyz t-shirt in there in a size big enough for me.
Hello, welcome.
So we finally made it to the museum, where the museum curator was kind enough to give us quite a lengthy explanation on the area and the history of the tower. Unfortunately, every single word of it was in Russian, and she didn't speak any English, and I didn't understand one word of it. So I still don't understand what the history was.
I was saying that during May and June months, the waterfall got so much water, so the water comes from the top and reaches up to here. And river is as full as the water gets to that level. So full of water.
Darling, what's this place? What's this place called?
This is a mountain that's called Kegety Gorge, and that waterfall behind us is called Kegety Waterfall.
Kegety?
Kegety.
Kegety Waterfall.
Yeah.
Okay, so as an update, what do we think the name of the waterfall is?
Well, as according to that sign, it says Sharkir waterfall.
Shakir Ratma.
Шаркыр Ратма это что-то другое. Вот видите, смотрите, вот это мы
It's caused quite a bit of controversy.
едем вот сюда, мы идем к водопаду, а Шаркыр Ратма это скорее всего территория, либо район, который там есть находится. скорее всего.
А там же написано waterfall.
Да, но вот здесь вот водопад, это вот 200 метров в него подходит, это круто. А это вот откуда мы стартуем, когда поворачиваем, мы знаем, что это скорее всего сама территория, либо это область, ну не область какая, но вот этот район называется так.
So Alessia is saying that Sharkir Ratma is probably the name of the area. probably the village area, the village that is how 5 kilometers away from here.
Высота, на которой мы находимся, над уровнем моря 1755 метров.
So right now we are on a 1,755 meters above sea level, and yeah, I was pretty sure this waterfall called Kegety waterfall, which is what the local people call it, but according to that sign it's a bit unclear whether the waterfall is called Shakiratma or whether the area is called Shakiratma. We'll find out later and we'll let you know.
А само вот это
Okay, so the man that does not speak Kyrgyz, does not speak Russian, thinks he's come to the bottom of it because we've got Shakiratma and then we've got the word waterfall underneath. As if it might be a translation. Perhaps that's the Kyrgyz word for waterfall. And that would still allow us to have our name for the waterfall, which was?
Kegety,
Kegety.
smart ass.
What is Russian for smart ass?
Умная задница.
And the water that comes from the waterfall comes down here into this beautiful creek that flows along through the snow-capped mountains. And remember, this is spring, so in winter this is all snow. Help us grow. Like, share and subscribe.
Watching you or watching me?
I'm doing a time lapse. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
Ставили камень и на нем изображение человека. Нет, это не кладбище буквально, это просто их собрали в одно место и здесь поставили.
Прикиньте, да, голова закружилась, наступил случай.
Захоронение.
реально
Да,
как свечу подниматься.
Да.
По факту.
Саид.